Sample design brief. Here is a sample of yesterday's assignment. In yesterday's assignment, you were asked to create a design brief from a scenario. Let's look at the design brief information. The information you need are as follows: the client, the designer, the problem statement, the design statement, the constraints, and the deliverables. The client and designer. The Campbell Company wants you to design a piece of furniture for them. The opening statement of the scenario tells you who the clients and designers are. The Campbell Company are the clients, and you are the engineer and designer. The product or solution. This is what you will use for the problem statement. The product or solution that is covered in this design brief is stated in the scenario. The Campbell Company wants you to design a piece of furniture for them. The piece of furniture they want to be designed is a bedside table. This table design needs to be a good design for kids in middle school. The design statement. This is a statement of what you as the designer and engineer will do. It should be a reflection of the problem statement. For example, in this case, the engineer will design the nightstand meeting the constraints and market preferences that meet manufacturer's requirements and create a plan and a prototype. The constraints. The constraints are the market requirements and the specifications that the product must meet. They are the limits of your design. Constraints are very important because they determine the size, the shape, and the function of what you're going to design. In this case, it must be 24 inches wide, 18 inches deep. It should be 20 inches high. It needs to have at least one drawer. It needs to have a night light or a reading light attached. It needs to have a built-in charging port for your phone. And it must be on wheels to make cleaning your room easier. The design must be aesthetically pleasing, meaning it must look good, and the design should be geared for the middle school user. Deliverables. The deliverables are the things that you as the engineer and designer will provide. A completed design plan for the nightstand, sketches and production drawings, and a working prototype in this case. What a design brief should be is accurate, specific, list constraints, and identify the designer and client, and identify what services the designer will provide. The design brief is where the design process begins. Here is an example of yesterday's assignment completed. This is a sample design brief for the scenario for the Campbell Company. Study it and see that it is short, accurate, and lists all who the client is, who the designer is, the constraints, and the deliverables.